I have my special guests on the line, Damon Galdo and his sister, Beth Galdo Desher. Good morning, folks.
Hi, Steve.
Good morning, Steve. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. Is it raining yet?
Yes, it is. It sounds like it's messing with the station, too.
Yeah, I know, the headsets. Whenever we have a little bit of rain, things go a little bit crazy here. But anyway, so, Damon, any of my listeners know you from being on this show for many years. You have your own program Thursday nights from 5 to 6 on Cruisin 92.1 WVLT. You also have a podcast. You told me a couple of years ago about your sister's plight with having cancer and just what she was going through and how what a heartache it is for your entire family. And as we talked over the years, I got to know a little bit more. And then this last spring, Beth was able to come out and meet Dr. Zanicki. So I'll tell you what, Damon, you lay it out and talk a little bit about how we're here today on the phone, and then we'll let Beth talk a little bit.
Yeah, sure, Steve. And first off, I just want to thank you because you do a lot of charity work and you help a lot of people. You're a great guy, Steve. And,
you're welcome.
I'll just keep up the great work. And my kids love you for everything that you do.
Thank you.
And I appreciate it. So basically, my sister was diagnosed with breast cancer. I'll let her get into all the technical terms of it years ago, and she thought she beat it with stage 3, and then here it metastasized her bone marrow, and she's been battling it ever since. And I don't know how she does it. I don't see her every day, but when I see her, she's fighting through it like a warrior, and I don't know how she does it. But her battle with this it's been uphill ever since she was diagnosed. Even battling with the insurance company to pay for her PET scans, but she didn't give up. She put a video out there on YouTube saying her insurance is trying to kill her, which they were, because they wouldn't cover her PET scans to help track her cancer to prolong her life. And then we got a hold of the news. Fox 29 in Philadelphia came to our house, did a story on her, and then guess what? After that, the insurance company turned around and said, yeah, we're going to pay for it. So that helped. And then after, you introduced me to Pennies in Action, went to a couple of their events. I was at one of them, and I recorded Dr. Zanicki's speech, and I sent it to Beth. And I didn't know she was in Florida at the time, looking at colleges for her daughter. And when I sent it to her, the video, she happened to be right there on where Moffitt is on that campus. And she watched the video, and she was actually almost right in front of the building, and walked in and learned about it. And then she came to the next event with us, met Dr. Zanicki, and she's going there for her treatment that's getting started. The only thing is, it's going to be a huge financial burden on her because she has to travel to Florida every week and for this groundbreaking treatment. And it's kind of her last line of defense, but I wouldn't even say last line, because my sister Beth, she's not giving up no matter what. She loves her family too much, and she's the strongest fighter I've ever met in my life. So I'll let her continue to tell her story, but we are starting a GoFundMe. It will be on my Facebook page, and I'll put it out there on my podcast and the show as well. But I would appreciate anybody that hears the story that will help out, because it's going to cost a ton of money to go to Florida and back every week.
Definitely. It's a lot to deal with when you're fighting for your life. So, Beth, welcome to the program. We've talked many times. We've met. And tell us a little bit about your plight and take us up to this week.
Yeah. Hey, Steve. You guys are way too kind, and you make me want to cry, saying all this nice stuff about me. Steve, first, I want to just thank you from the bottom of my heart for having me on your show, and just,
you're welcome.
You follow up with me, and you're a great friend, like checking on me often, and I just want to thank you. But I met Steve through my brother, Damon, obviously, and the Pennies in Action Foundation. That's where he introduced me to Dr. Zanicki and this new line of treatment. A little bit about me. I was originally diagnosed stage 3 bilateral breast cancer when I was 39. I went through the usual chemo, radiation. I had a double mastectomy, countless surgeries to combat my breast cancer. And And at the end of this 11-month journey, I was unfortunately re-diagnosed stage 4 metastatic breast cancer. Now, metastatic breast cancer, for those of you who don't know, is when your original cancer, travels to other locations of your body, most commonly like your lungs, liver, your bone, and brain. For me, it was my bone marrow. Is where mine started. So after that point, I started on the new chemo regimen that my oncologist put me on. And I was blessed that medication, for me, worked for 55 months, which is way over the average of 24 months. During this time, you might have seen me or heard me pop up on social media like Fox News. I was on Facebook, newspapers, because I was fighting, as Damon said, my insurance company for my PET scans. And those PET scans were crucial to monitor whether my cancer progressed further to other locations or not. With the help of so many, with my story, I won that battle, thankfully, and never had a problem getting those scans since. Fast forward to about a year ago, I started to really not feel myself. I mean, cancer battle itself is enough, but I started to really feel, really crappy. I was shortness of breath, dizzy. I couldn't walk 5 feet without someone assist me or sit me down. I called my doctor and went in for my routine every 3-month scans, which I continue to get. I get CT scans, MRIs, PET scans every 3 months to monitor my cancer. And for those of you who know, that term anxiety is the true thing. Every time you have a scan, you feel the sense of anxiety that you're afraid. The unfortunate thing is that the cancer spread even more, which I was blindsided at this appointment. The reality hit hard. It spread extensively to my liver and to all different bone lesions throughout, my bones all over. So at this point, I had to move on to a new chemo line of treatment that I've been on for the past year. And it's still in my liver and my bones, and medicine was keeping my cancer from progressing. Now let's switch to the present. Last Wednesday, I just went for my 3-month scan, and I met with my oncologist where she told me that one of the cancer tumors in my liver tripled in size. So that means it's time for me to move on to another line of treatment. This is where my brother, Damon, Steve, and Dr. Zanicki and Dr. Soriano come into, my life and my picture here. Steve introduced me to Dr. Zanicki at a fundraiser for Pennies in Action a few weeks ago, where I got to hear about Dr. Zanicki speak about this new innovative line of cancer treatment using your own dendritic cells to try to treat the cancer in your body. I mean, how amazing is that? I mean, that week I flew down to Florida at the Cancer Institute, and I saw Dr. Zanicki and met with the oncologist down there, Dr. Soriano, and they determined that I am a candidate for this clinical trial that I pray will help extend my life and give me a fighting chance. But unfortunately, this treatment is only done at Moffitt Cancer Institute. So it's going to be rough, but it's going to be worth it. So I'll be required to fly down back and forth to Florida about 15 to 20 times during this trial.
That's a lot.
The hotel stays, the airfare, transportation, treatment, all that stuff.
Hey, Beth, let me interrupt you. I'm going to hold you guys. This is important. I'm going to hold you guys till after the 10 o'clock. So stay on the line. We'll pick you back up after the break.
Okay.
Stay tuned for the Steve DiOrio Show, folks. So let's get back to Damon Galdo and Beth Galdo Desher. So Beth, you're going to be traveling a lot. So tell us how from you now. You just got your results from the PET scan. Was it yesterday or 2 days ago?
2 days ago, yeah.
Okay, you pick up the phone. You're now locked in. When is your first visit to Moffitt Cancer Center?
I'm flying down to Florida June 16th.
Okay.
Yeah, so June 16th, I'll fly down, I'll meet with the doctor, go over some stuff, and then I have to go for another visit where they'll extract those dendritic cells that will be crucial in the treatment. And then I'll have to fly down weekly after that. So every week I have to go down to Florida for the injections and everything that's required, and then monthly setup like kind of after it. But I'm not going to lie, it's going to be rough. But I'm so blessed, with having the support of my family and my friends, my husband Brian. I have two beautiful girls, my two beautiful daughters, Olivia and Abby, who will both be in college this year too, by the way.
Great.
And all my friends that are praying for me, and most of all, my mom, who never misses, an appointment with me and is going to make every trip down to Florida with me. Like, she's the best, and like, I love you, Mom. Thank you for everything you do. So that's pretty much me in a nutshell. Steve, I just, I wanted to thank you first and foremost for shedding the light on this and for having me on the show, and to let other cancer thrivers know that they're not alone in everything. You can do to battle this terrible disease beyond everything you can do. Be the best advocate for yourself. Fight with every last breath to be here for your family. My girls are what I fight for every day. Olivia and Abby are what gives me the strength to keep fighting on. So just, find your strength and find your reason, to keep on fighting. But
you're right. And the great thing about you have a great, loving family, parents, brothers, sisters, and that's what it's all about. You need a support system, and that's why with Damon and I are going to talk. We're going to put a committee together. We're going to help you out to defray some of the costs, because unfortunately, a cancer diagnosis, whether it's breast cancer, ovarian cancer, or cervical cancer, should not be a death sentence for a woman. Without women, we won't be procreating and having a continuous recycling of the population. But in your particular case, you're a fighter, and that's a good thing. You have to have a good attitude, and you certainly have that. And we're going to do whatever we can to help you. And we look forward to perhaps once a month an update on what's going on. And I'm sure that you and I will talk. For now, where can anybody reach you? Or we do not have that set up yet?
No, we don't have it set up yet, but the GoFundMe will be set up today, and see on my Facebook page. It's Damon Galdo or Damon M Galdo NJ. I'll be talking about it on my podcast as well. I'll have it on my website as well, America's Pulse Network.com. So I'll have it up there at the end of today. So anybody can go on that website and look for it, or you'll see it in my Facebook post. I'll post it often, or it'll be on my page, on Beth's page. Beth, if you want to talk about your page, I'm sure it'll be on there as well. I'll send you the link.
We'll update everyone once we have all the details. But Beth, I look forward to hearing about your progress, and God bless, and we're rooting for you, and we're praying for you, okay?
Oh, thanks, Steve. You've been a godsend. Thank you so much for your time, and just the check-ins with me often. You're just so kind. Both of you guys are, thank you.
No problem. Our
to
pleasure.
Everyone. Thank you to my family and friends and everyone that's praying for me and rooting for me. This is hopefully will give me, that fighting chance to extend my life as long as I can. So,
well, you're a fighter. We got to let you fight now. So, Damon, I'll be in touch, and Beth, I'll be in touch. Have a great weekend.
All right.
You too as well.
God bless.
Thank you.
See you. Take it easy. There you have my buddy Damon Gallo and his sister Beth Gallo Desher, who is fighting for her life, and so far so good. She's a fighter. There's no doubt about it.